Welcome to Between the Horns, presented by your Southern California Toyota dealers, Camryn Irwin, DeMarco Farr, Maurice Jones, Drew, as we get set for Week 11. Guys, this is going to be great. We're going to take a look back at the Rams' pickup win over one rival as we prepare for Seattle, another rival, from one to the next. How you guys feeling?
I'm good. We can stay in that win for a while now. Let's just bask in it. Yeah.
Listen, who are you telling?
Absolutely.
DeMarco, I felt like I was just, 42 points, and I walked out of there with my chest out, my head held high. I flew down to L.A., went to work at the network, and got to see it over again. Then I went home, sent a couple text messages out to some people. Hey, how are you feeling?
Of course.
Not good. Awesome. Glad that you're.
It was fun. It meant a lot. It meant a lot for the fan bases, for up there, down here. It meant a lot for this football team to go up there and kind of right that wrong that you let get away. Here on Thursday night in SoFi. So to go up there and put 42 points on them and absolutely dominate the football game, it meant a lot. And it also meant that you got ahead of the 49ers, which was so important because this NFC race that's coming down the stretch, it kind of built up to this game this Sunday at SoFi with the Seahawks. But, a lot of fun seeing Matthew Stafford do Matthew Stafford things.
The shimmy.
I was about to say, we're going to get into the shimmy.
And to see people going up the aisle.
Oh, yeah.
Before the game was over. That was the moment for me. I didn't say goodbye. I just kind of watched them leave. It was fun.
You just slow wave.
Just looking. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, we really wanted to set the scene, so what a better place than here at the Toyota patio at SoFi. Guys, before we look ahead to Seattle, you talked about Matthew Stafford. The shimmy was just superb, but he's been superb all season long. Actually, since week 4, 20 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The MVP conversations only grew after last week. And actually, I was going through the search engine, just type in Matthew Stafford. It doesn't say Matthew Stafford search. It's Matthew Stafford MVP search. It's the first thing that comes up. How much better is this case now?
That's pretty cool, man. I mean, I think the only way I could sum it up, because he deserves everything and all the attention that he's getting, because he's playing on a whole nother level. The things he's doing to manipulate defenses with his eyes, with his head, is unreal. And JB said something I thought was kind of funny. I think the horns on the helmet kind of benefit him because he moves people and he's throwing back this way. So the stuff he's doing is you'll be talking about it long after he retires, because this is stuff quarterbacks are going to be asked to do from this point forward because of what he's doing right now. But I think I could sum it up this way, Maurice. It's his time.
Yeah.
When you think about where he came from in Detroit, and he was great there. The only problem was Aaron Rodgers was in the same division. So now he stands alone. He's in the West. He's got a first-place team. They're playing well. It's his time to be talked about in the MVP category.
To me, it's a perfect marriage. I think when you put Sean McVay and the offense that he came in with, the one that we saw with Jared Goff, and how it was all these numbers and stats are going to put up, and then that leaves, and then it was kind of like trying to navigate, okay, how can we do this same offense with Matthew Stafford? I think this year is the year, right? This year you're seeing all the work that they've put in, all the time they've learned each other, all the different things they want to do, and you see the bootlegs. We didn't see a lot of bootlegs the last couple of years. Those bootlegs, it just makes it easier for the quarterback not to think. It's half-field reads. Guys are right in front of you. You see the athleticism.
He doesn't look old.
No, he doesn't. He's running, and then when we need you to be Matthew Stafford on 3rd and 8, and we need you to rip a deep end to Devontae Adams, you have that in your bag. And so, to me, I just feel like he's so much more comfortable under center, so much more comfortable in this offense that he doesn't have to think, right? It's just like, I know exactly where I'm going with this play because I've seen this defense. I know what they're going to run against this call. I have all this experience, and then there's answers to every question in every play. And so he's been, I would say, batting at like 98%. Like he's passing these tests at 98, 99%, and that's what you're seeing, right? He understands where the ball's supposed to be, when it's supposed to be there, and everyone's kind of on the same page.
Well, you mentioned the bootleg, and it was interesting because that's one of the plays that really stood out to me from last week was the touchdown to Davis Allen on that exact play where he extended it. You could dissect any part of his game right now and it'd be coming up, green lights. How dangerous has he become, though, specifically in the red zone and utilizing so many different weapons?
I think they have. That's the funny thing. I was just, when you were talking about everything about Matthew Stafford, I'm like, it's not like he's out there by himself. No. He's got some weapons. He's got some players. Puka's out there. Devontae's out there. These tight ends have come into their own, and the run game and the O-line have really come into their own. But, I think for me, asking questions about them and to the offense, like why is it clicking now, and they bring up the Baltimore trip. They talk about it's a mindset in the red zone now. When they get into the red zone, they feel like they have to score, and their focus kind of narrows. That's the stuff you want to hear coming out of an offense. I think that's been the difference in the red zone.
Yeah, you know, I think the other part of the red zone is the play calls, to be honest. I mean, it's not just straight drop back 5 guys running routes, right? It's play action pass. There's screen game involved in the red zone. In certain situations, they're running the football, right? And so again, to me, I don't know where it clicked. I think it is that Baltimore trip where it kind of all came together.
I think it's the tight ends, man.
Yeah,
I do. I think it's the emergence of the tight ends.
But I think, again, how many times we've asked for those tight ends over the years, right? And it's just that now this offense is complete. You have 4 tight ends. You have 2 running backs. You have 5 wide receivers. You have a quarterback that's spreading the ball around. The offensive line is healthy, and you're able to marry run and pass together. And so that's hard for any defense. And it brings me back to when I used to play against the Houston Texans when Kyle Shanahan's there. He had Matthew Schaub, right? And Matthew Schaub, I used to tell people all the time, like, playing against him was one of the hardest things because he had answers and he was smart.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't have the same arm talent as Matthew Stafford, but when you drop a guy with that arm talent and that intelligence into this offense, oh my goodness, you should score every time you're in the red zone.
It's Matt Schaub. There's only one Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
You only
Matt
get
Schaub.
Matt Schaub, Matthew Stafford.
Whatever.
There you go.
It's all the
Come on,
same.
let's respect.
Talking about versatility, 4 different players caught a touchdown pass from Stafford this last week. Allen, Parkinson, Nakua, and Adams, not to mention the 2 rushing from Camryn Williams. You mentioned a little bit of the tight ends, though. 13 personnel. 30 of the 67 snaps from last week were in 13 personnel. What kind of strain does that put in terms of a defense on the other side? He laughs. He's like, that's brutal.
Sean's getting a little greedy now.
Big time.
Let's get back to 11 personnel a little bit. Let's slow down.
But shout out to the giraffe, Colby Parkinson, for the way he's rebounded from last year. Last year was rough for him. It just did not click. This year he's been a different guy. And the thing that I notice most is his toughness. I mean, he has taken some shots. Bam, gets right back up, back to the huddle. So that tells me there's competition in the room. That tells me there's a new intensity. Scott Huff is their tight ends coach. I knew him from UW, an O-line coach. So you kind of implement that O-line kind of mentality to a tight end. Right, a very athletic group, a very different group. They do so many different things, and they work well together. That, to me, has been the difference in the red zone and the difference with this offense right now. But, yeah, having Higbee back is another thing. Give him his flowers, too. This offense that we talk about, it's all he knows.
Right.
This is the only offense he's run, so having him back in the room is only going to help the group. And then I think the rock star of the thing, or the potential, is T. Ferg.
Yeah.
He's the receiver of the bunch. So depending on which 3 of the 4 you see on the field will give defenses just absolute nightmares.
And you didn't say anything about Davis Allen, who has 3
Say
touchdowns.
that,
Right? Like, well, this is what I will say. When you have a vision, right, and it's hard, it rarely comes true, but when you have a vision for guys, right, on your roster, on your team, you're saying, okay, this is what I expect out of this group. We're seeing that from the Rams tight end group, right? This is the vision that Sean and Les Snead had when they drafted T. Ferg, and they're like, we're going to put some youth in here to put some competition in, to get some guys going. And sometimes competition makes guys shut it down, and sometimes it makes you raise your game a little bit. And that we're seeing the latter of that, which is, again, tight ends showing up, guys making plays. When you catch the ball, you're seeing them seek it and turn and look for contact and try to score, because you never know. And I actually had this call. I had a talk with the Daily Bruin. Called me last night and I had to do this thing. And they were asking about, what my time at UCLA was like. And I remember going to UCLA, there was 10 running backs, right? So if you fumbled, you had to get back into the back of the line. I was like, hey. Like, I like touching the football, so when I get my opportunity, I'm going to make the most of it every time, and that's what you're seeing in this tight end room is when my number is called, that play is for me. T. Ferg is out here trying to make catches. The first play against the Niners was a fade ball or a wheel route, and Stafford gave him an opportunity, and I said, I love that, to let you know, like, regardless if he's covered or not, we're going to throw him the ball.
Oh, yeah. And Davis Allen, shout out to you, too. I didn't forget you. I was just talking too much.
And then I want to put this in about the last little bit about the red zone. It's hard when you have to cover Devontae Adams on a fade or a slant. But then you have to worry about our tight ends and the flat and play action and the running game and this. And you saw that with the Niners. It was too much for them to think about. And
you can't cover Devontae one-on-one.
But that's when you did, it was a touchdown. You saw that in the game, right? When you double teamed them, they ran the ball or play action pass somewhere else, right? And so it's so hard for a defense to have to cover the whole field and 5 guys and make sure that you have. it just doesn't work that way.
With a pitching machine of a quarterback.
Right.
All he has to do is get open and the ball's going to be on him.
Exactly.
I don't know how you stop that.
This current iteration of the Rams offense, is this the most diversified offense under McVay that you've seen?
By far.
I think so.
Not even close.
This is what we've been hoping, waiting for, because he took the job as kind of a tight end guru.
Yeah.
Well, now you've got a group of guys where he can work his magic and manipulate defenses. And if the defense has a pretty good day, you still got to deal with these guys out wide. I can just dump the ball off and spam it to them and move it. And a pretty good running game. So I think it could be. I think it could be the best offense we've seen.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's switch it a little bit. Let's look to the defensive side of the ball now. Rams have been opportunistic to this point, especially in their run defense. What have you seen in terms of growth from that unit?
What are you laughing about? Go ahead.
I know this guy. Every time I ask you a question,
who comes to mind?
We were leaving the game, and this guy walks by me, and I'm like, man, like, who is that? Oh, that's Poona Ford. We about the same size. We're the same height at least.
Which
and I'm
is
like,
wild.
And I'm like, dude,
Maurice.
I'm like, dude, like, there's no way that this guy is over here throwing around 300-pounders.
Killing
like,
him.
You wouldn't recognize that, right? Like, you know, they used to say big things come in small packages, and that's what he's doing. He's being able to cover A gap to A gap or B gap to B gap, and that allows everyone else to do their job. And I think that was one of the reasons last year the Rams had trouble. They couldn't control the interior gaps. And so you have a guy like him that can get under the center, dominate A gap to A gap, get penetration in the run game or the passing game, and collapse the pocket. All of a sudden now your linebackers can just roam.
Oh, yeah.
They're flying around. Guys are getting – and it just – having that nose in the 3-4 defense – is so pivotal to making this, like, the spine of this defense has been fixed, and they're able to run.
Well, I'll say this. Like, last year's defense, they couldn't do it consistently. This year, they are doing it more consistently, and I think it's because of his emergence or the fact that he's here. And I'm happy that, dudes that are under 6 feet are actually having a shot to play in the NFL.
My God.
And he's absolutely killing them. Here's the thing. He's slamming bodies whether he's making the play or not. That's how you know he's wrecking shop. Anybody that's on him that has to block him, first of all, it's a balanced breakfast, and you got to play snap the whistle because he ain't going to quit. And the minute you stop, he's going to pick you up and throw you. Mm-hmm. That's the type of D-line. That's the type of guy that just wreaks havoc in the middle. And then shout out to the conductor, Kobe Turner, who I think might be the best all-around guy on this football team. Can play tough, could be a run thug when needed. When it's a pass rush, straighten out and get right to the quarterback in a blink. So in the middle, they've done great. On the edges, my goodness, I wouldn't want to play against Jared Verse.
No.
Even if he doesn't beat you, he's going to beat you up. Mm-hmm. I mean, regardless. And Byron Young's having a fantastic year. So, yeah, I think this defense as a whole has been very, very consistent, stopping the run, earning the right to rush the passer.
And let me say this, too. There's one play in the Niners game that I think it was a touchdown by Brian Robinson. But people are like, oh, but why would you highlight that? Well, Landman comes scot-free on the goal line to make the play, right? Like,
it was clean. Yeah.
That never happens because as an offensive player, it's like we got to get up on those linebackers down there. We're not sticking on double teams. We're getting up and moving guys, but those guys have been so dominant up front that you give your linebacker a clean shot and you just – again, it's NFL. People make plays. But to see that, I was like, oh, this defensive line is terrorizing people.
Great play him.
Yeah.
Because that's the defensive scheme. You get a middle linebacker on a running back in the backfield, you're supposed to drop him. Yeah.
Well, anytime I get a chance to be on this show, it seems as if I want to talk about Nate Landman because he has just been phenomenal. Now 3 forced fumbles on the year. And by the way, Jared Verse also at that mark. That's just one below the league lead at 4 in total. What's been his effect?
I think Verse just talks the ball out of ball comes out. But, I call it forced fumbles or strips. I mean, when you call it punch-outs, I just hate that some people may say, oh, we can't be punching at the ball, and they'll make that illegal. You know what I mean? We can't be fisting at the ball, hitting this stuff. But, no, he's doing a great job of getting the ball out, and it's just that split second. And it comes with timing and knowing and trusting your personnel. He's where he needs to be. He cuts off the football. He's in great position to make the tackle. So when Maurice Jones-Drew goes to lean in for a routine hit and he just relaxes for a half second, bam, time to hit the football. Only certain guys have the guts to even try that because if you miss, he's out the back door. So he's a heck of a linebacker. He's a heck of a leader, and you could tell he's like the heart and soul of this defense.
Well, I'll tell you this, too. It's his football intelligence. He understands that it's the guy that you don't see with the running back, right? Like, there's been some where a guy's looking at him, he's punching the ball out. But a lot of his ones are you're not seeing him. And then, again, you're trying to break tackles, and you get like this, and all of a sudden it's just, uppercut or a right jab or whatever it may be to the ball. But he's ball aware. It's hard to explain that type of I guess terminology, but there's some people that are great tacklers.
Yeah.
Bobby Wagner's a terrific tackler, makes all the tackles. There's certain people that cause turnovers, right? There's corners. Like Jalen Ramsey was a cover guy. He wasn't necessarily an interception guy. He was a great cover guy.
Shut you down guy.
But then there's certain guys that just get picks, right? Like they give up plays, but you know what? It's 50-50. He may take that thing to the house too. So he's just a ball-aware guy. He's always aware of where the ball is, how the guy's holding the ball. And then another one, again, in a crucial situation where the Niners are driving down to punch that ball out and the Rams go down and score was huge.
Knuckles on leather, right? That's what he's looking for.
See, don't say knuckles.
Yeah,
See, that's a fine, right?
I love it.
See?
I love it.
It's a punch.
No.
It's a strip. Yeah.
It's strip.
There you go.
We also have to give a nod to Emmanuel Forbes, second straight game now where he's come away with an interception. Just how much better are you seeing him play right now?
You can tell the confidence is growing. Shout out to the coaching staff working with him and the weight room. He's a lot bigger than the first time we saw him. You saw him when he walked through the door.
I mean, listen, he could have ate a hamburger and been a lot bigger the first time we saw him. Jesus.
But he's bigger. He's playing bigger. Yeah. He's covering better. He's attacking the football. And the stuff I like, you know me, I like the way he plays the run.
Yeah.
Because they will leave him unblocked, go block the safety, and force those corners to make tackles because they know they can't. He has answered the bell each and every week on that. You got to respect him.
I think what you said best is what he did this offseason, right? He put the time in this offseason to get stronger, get bigger, put on more muscle, and then to be able to do those things, right? To be able to go in there and put your shoulder pads on a running back. And I love the fact that he doesn't shy away from it. He fits in his gap in the run game. He may get ran over. The guy may be bigger or stronger, but he's going in there to do it. And then when you stop the run, it's just like defensive line. When you earn the right to get interceptions, right? When you earn the right to be put in a situation where the quarterback has to get the ball out quick in a known passing situation, you have opportunities to jump passes. And again, it was the pressure caused by it was the pressure of stopping the run early in this game. Then the defensive line got pressure on Mac Jones. He has to get the ball out quick, and you have your eyes where you need to be. You're able to make a play, and that's what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
That's what he did at he was at Mississippi State, right?
Yeah.
That's what he did there, and again, that's why he was drafted in the first round. You're starting to see that, though, now. And again, I think a lot of it comes to being in the same system, being around the same guys, understanding what they're looking for in certain situations, knowing when you can be aggressive, when you can't, and then being able to compete, too, because, again, competition brings the best out of everybody. And so having guys get traded to come back here, or guys getting healthy is something that you're looking for.
And have a really good defensive staff.
Yeah.
That can coach. That really helps.
I thought we weren't doing that, though.
I'm just saying.
I thought we weren't doing that, though, because I thought we were trying to keep everyone here.
I didn't say names.
Keep them here.
Yeah, I thought we were trying to keep
DeMarco.
everyone here.
All right, guys. Well, one more unit to touch on, and that's special teams. It feels like a little bit of a reprieve this week, which is a glorious thing. Harrison Mevis making his NFL start, goes 6 for 6 on extra points. Also, Jake McQuaid in the mix as the snapper. Just quickly touching on what it stood out about that unit.
Okay, so being down there with him, I get the nickname.
Thicker kicker.
I get it. Yeah, absolutely. But here's how it went. It's third on the list.
That's great.
Yeah, that's perfect.
We love it.
It needs to keep going further. We don't need to talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I think you're getting close. I think everybody can exhale a little bit. At least we did on game day.
Yeah.
Let's hope that carries over. But that's the point of it. To me, it's never been about who's doing it, just as long as the ball goes through the upright. Because this defense, this offense is playing at an elite level and has a chance to ascend. That would stink if that part of football would hurt you and keep you from where you want to go.
Yeah, I believe in any journey that you take as a football team, things are going to happen. You're going to have to be able to overcome some type of adversity. And credit to the coaching staff of putting out a competition and then making it a fair competition and saying, hey, these guys won. We're going to go see what they do.
Maurice, in all my years, I personally have never seen that. I have to say that, to where you have a long snapper and a place kicker that's on the field doing the job, and the other two guys are on the sideline staring at them. I've never seen that. So that is competition at its truest form.
Yeah, if you believe in competition, I mean, that's like that every week.
Yes.
Not just at that position, though.
Yeah.
There's
Exactly.
running backs and
there's
D-linemen.
but never
O-linemen.
a long snapper and a kicker. I thought that was like, wow, they're not messing around.
All right, it's time to fast forward, guys. We have a huge showdown here at SoFi on Sunday. Two teams, both sitting at 7-2, fighting for the divisional lead, both on 4-game win streaks. Seattle has yet to lose on the road this season. Also interesting as they're coming in to SoFi. Just how big is this one?
I mean, I thought you played an NFC West championship game last week. I think you're going to do it again this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This team is built very similar to the Rams, right? Their defensive line is crazy.
Woo.
Different, but crazy.
Really good.
Offense is very similar to what the Rams do, pretty much the exact same, but they just do it out of 21 personnel and 11 personnel. And so I think you're going to have to find ways to slow them down early. They start fast.
Yeah.
They start very fast. So if you can slow them down early and put a little pressure on Sam Darnold, I think that'll help out. But offensively, the only way you do that is by protecting your quarterback, right? You got to be able to run the football this week. You can't drop back. You got to be able to be efficient in the running game and play action pass and take your shots.
How different is that defensive line, and why so? You just mentioned that.
Yeah, they're bigger.
Okay.
They're bigger. They're athletic. Like Leonard Williams playing D-end is a problem. Right? You can't have a 300-pound D-end out there, right?
Byron Murphy is as quick as they come.
And he's kind of coming into his own. And then you have Lawrence, who's coming out as well, who's making plays. And
scored twice last week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're blitzing.
Buy a lottery ticket.
They're blitzing. They're doing all these different things, and they can still get pressure with four. It goes back to when right before we went to London, I watched them versus the Seahawks versus the Jaguars, and they demolished
the
Trevor
doors.
Lawrence. Yes.
Right, yes, absolutely. The good defense, they get after you. Sam Darnold, I don't know how to explain this. I want to say Jeff Gordon, but that doesn't do it justice because he was actually a great driver. I mean, I think they are good. I think he's been good behind him. Last week, they scored 35 points before the half, right? Just blew the doors off Arizona. I think he turned the ball over 3 times.
He did.
That's what I mean. We don't talk about it. They're good. He's good enough to run this offense. So I like what you said. I think this offense is good. I think their defense gets after you, and special teams-wise, what it comes down to is who has the better quarterback under center.
Yeah.
Which quarterback is going to make the fewest mistakes. So I would put all my stock in Matthew Stafford. But same thing. If you let Seattle do what they do offensively, if you let them get the run game going so they have the benefit of play action, you'll never catch them. And they have the defense to back you up. So same thing, same mentality with San Francisco. You got to land the first punch. You can't wait around for them to establish momentum and then come back. You have to establish momentum.
And you have a little bit of a revenge factor in there with Cooper Kupp, right? So that's gonna come into play as well. But I will tell you this. If I'm Chris Shula, the first person in this offense I want to stop is JSN. He can't do anything against us, right?
No.
We have to make them play left-handed and either run the football or throw it to other players, but I can't have JSN going, post and different things like that.
This is where I have to argue with Maurice. I think you can't cover him.
We have to.
You can't. That's what I mean. There's no covering that guy. You can't cover receivers like that. What you have to do is get after Darnold.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, we got to slow him, at least make Darnold hitch one time.
Yes, I think you need to be letter perfect in how you're covering him and be in position to make plays. But if you think you got a guy to just lock on him and take him away,
that's not going to happen.
Never going to happen.
Listen,
right.
we're going to throw bodies at him. Like we talk about certain positions that we had trouble in the past. We're going to keep throwing bodies at him.
Looks.
Multiple looks.
Okay.
Hard, like a quick jam. You got help over the top. Maybe we're going to have a linebacker chipping when he's in tight. We just can't let him just run, because if you let him run, it's going to be a problem.
Let's devote resources to going after Darnold. See, the argument over. See, we're on the same page. There we go.
Well, it also makes me think back to the wild card last year. 9 sacks against Darnold, obviously a different offense on the other side. But for Rams fans, I'm going to tell you, or just general NFL fans, this is a matchup you're going to want to watch if you love elite wide receiver play, because you're looking across the board. You mentioned Jackson Smith and Jigba currently leading the NFL right now with over 1,000 yards. And then, of course, we have our own Jackson Smith and Jigba, Puka Nacua. You can't forget about Davante Adams, who I feel like is currently a freight train. He is only picking up momentum. And, of course, the return of Cooper Kupp here to SoFi Stadium. So if you love elite wide receiver play, this is the matchup you're going to want to watch. Not to mention, of course, the quarterback as well.
I don't like elite receiver play. I like quarterbacks getting hit very hard.
You do.
I like defensive struggles.
And let me say this, and I'll tell you this too. The Rams have had a lot of success with this Seahawks offensive line. It hasn't changed, right? And you've had success in those situations. So I agree with you. If you are going to stop JSN, you have to get pressure on Darnold quickly. Yep. It brings me back to Braden Fisk's sack last year, where it was like a 2-second sack. Like, he beat the guard. I think it was the right guard. He beat him in 2 seconds, right? And so you know that you have an advantage there. You just have to stop them on first down. Now, you're going to say, stop the run. Like, no, they throw the ball on first down more than anyone in the NFL. They do play-action passes on first down. So you got to make sure that you're prepared for that and you slow them down and get them in those third and longs.
Say his name again.
Who?
Braden Fisk.
Yeah, Braden Fisk.
Yeah, there
Braden
you go.
Fisk. Braden Fisk. We need some Braden Fisk.
Yeah.
Braden Fisk can win this game. I'm not kidding. Braden Fisk can win this game. You get interior pressure, game over. Absolutely.
Fair
Puncture
enough.
the pocket, game
Yeah.
over. Yes, sir.
One unit we haven't discussed quite yet is the Rams' offensive line. They've allowed just 14 sacks this season. That's tied for fourth best. They're going to have to deal with it. Again, you mentioned Seattle's defensive line. What have you seen from the Rams' offensive line that gives you confidence going into this one?
Okay, first of all, I love how this offensive line, I guess, is built. You got the veteran in Rob Havenstein. You got the youth at left tackle. You got Alaric Jackson, who doesn't say a word and we don't talk much about, which is perfect. And you've got Kevin Dodson, who is the demolition man, right? And the brain in the middle with Coleman Shelton. So there's a play that I think, this is my favorite play. This is the one where Puka scored. First of all, it was a great block by Tyler Higbee.
Yes.
He gets 2, springs the block. Watch Rob Havenstein. Does his job, gets knocked to the ground on a heap, gets up, see that they scored, goes, and walks straight to the sideline. Then rewind the tape and watch Steve Avila. All the way into the end zone, he wants a part of the celebration. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Youth, experience. I'm not going to add 50 yards to my day. You can go ahead, young man.
Right.
But they're all playing well together. They communicate well. All the problems that you thought about last season with protection issues, knowing which way to slide. There haven't been many busts this year.
Right.
That's all because of the veteran experience in Coleman Shelton. But the way they're coming together, they're starting to move people, not just position block. So run and pass. They're hard to beat around the corner, and they can absolutely move you off the stumps in the middle. So if you want to know what's making this thing go outside of Stafford, it's that O-line.
I don't know if Ernest Jones is going to play this week or not. But I'll say the biggest thing I see from the Rams offensive line is when they double team, they're up on those linebackers right away. It's not like, we're going to sit at the line of scrimmage and go. No, they're chipping and moving guys, and they're getting up to the second level, which is opening up these gaping holes. And even though the Rams aren't running the ball like we've seen in the past right now, right, the play action pass is there because if I'm a linebacker and I see any type of run action, I have to beat that offensive lineman to the spot because once he gets on me, it's over. And the Rams have done such a great job of getting up to the second level that alone is making those linebackers over pursue or get out of position. And again, like you said, Matthew Stafford, that's what's allowing the scheme, the way they're getting up to the second level, when they do run the ball, all that's allowing them to protect Matthew Stafford more.
They sell run pretty good.
Really good.
They're really in the mind of Sean McVay. When he draws you in to get passing lanes open, they sell it really well. Those linebackers and safety believe it's run, and then it's too late.
Rams rivalry game here at SoFi Stadium. We're going to be in full midnight mode. How sweet do those jerseys look?
Yeah, can't wait. This
good.
is going to be fun, yes.
But this is your chance to say a message to the Ramley about how impactful they could be in this matchup.
Oh, be loud. You know this. I keep telling you this about people, Jared Verse and Byron Young, and they depend on you. The louder you get, the more pressure they get, the more we win. And I thought L.A. was the city of champions and whatnot, right? So do your part. Be here and be loud. Look, I'll tell you this. That is their advantage up there. It is deafening in Seattle. Yeah. It's almost unfair. So I think it's only right that you give it to them and show them what it's like here in SoFi and try to blow the roof off this place. So, like I said, I think the offense will give people something to cheer about. Keep that same energy when the defense is out there and drown out all communication that Sam Darnold has, and then get after him.
I think this is a championship game. This is the NFC West championship game, like I said earlier. And when you're in those modes and you want your team to win, you need to be out in here and be a part of the game, right? Be a part of the environment, the experience. Fans, I mean, we both know this. I mean, I've played in UW. I played in Seattle. I've been there where you can't hear the quarterback tell you the play. Yeah. Right? You know how much of a disadvantage that is as an offensive player? Like, the quarterback is screaming, and you just see his mouth going like this. And you're like, what? Right? And then you got to burn a timeout, or you have some miscommunication. You're able to get pressure on the quarterback and a big sack on third down. Those things, fans definitely impact the game. So if you want this Rams team to be where everyone believes they can go, you got to be a part of that, right? Like, we're all a part of it. I mean, we have a job to do as well.
Yeah, without question.
But this is a city that the Dodgers just went back-to-back. We've seen how they've been supported. It's time for, those people that baseball season's over. Now it's time to come to SoFi, and let's do it again. right? Let this be the
know,
city of championships.
I know you guys want another ring. That's all I'm saying. I know you want another ring.
Two-time Super Bowl champion.
Quick synopsis of our keys to victory, because you guys have already laid it out so beautifully, but just something for Rams fans to hang on to. First key to victory. DeMarco.
Okay, I'll say this. I think this will be the best defenses both teams will have played, with exception of Houston. And I would say, if you look at the tape from what they did versus Arizona, you're going to see a lot of that. They're going to try to get the ball out of Matthew Stafford's hands in a blink or beat him up. That's going to be the game plan. So I would say this: protection for Matthew Stafford, and not just pass blocking. I mean protecting through running the football, being smart with it, staying ahead of the chains, and kind of taking away some of that aggression, because he'll do it on his own, but take away some of that aggression by continuing to keep them on the field, and I think that'll pay dividends. So, number one, protect Stafford. Number two, you got to stop the run. You absolutely have to stop the run, make them one-dimensional. I don't think you can cover them one-on-one, but I know you can get pressure on that quarterback. So it starts with stopping the run.
Yeah, to me, I was going to say just control the line of scrimmage. If you can control the line of scrimmage, meaning both sides of the ball, dominating them on defense. If we're on defense, they're on offense, getting pressure, like DeMarco said, stopping the run. But then on the vice versa, the other way is, you know, they put a lot of resources and invested a lot of money into that defensive line and draft capital. Yeah. Guess who else has done the same thing? The Rams on both sides, right? So it's time for you to then now show why you're getting paid or why you were selected at a certain position. And this is that game for. This is championship games aren't about the guys on the outside. It's not about the running back. It's really not about the quarterback.
Say it loud.
You win championship games because of the interior. If you look at the Eagles last year, the reason the Eagles beat one was because their defensive line dominated down the stretch. Yeah. Offensive line did. They were able to run the football. Their offensive line did as well. So when you're in a championship game, it's all about the guys up front. The guys that don't get all the written about, those are the guys that have to win those games. So to me, control the line of scrimmage.
Which one is it? That one? Braden Fisk's going to win this game.
Look at you calling your
shot. He's right back to it. I'm going to go bat some cleanup here. I'm going to say another clean game on special teams, just clean and simple. And then I'm also going to say we got to start fast. Matthew Stafford has been really solid on those opening drives, 3 straight where they've been able to score. But, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so much for hanging out here on Between the Horns, presented by your Southern California Toyota dealers. A beautiful setting right here on our Toyota patio at SoFi Stadium. We can't wait to see you back here at 1:05 Sunday afternoon. The Rams and the Seahawks looking for that divisional lead.